Hey everyone, so we're getting started in Java for real this week, and so I want to introduce you to NetBeans, the IDE we'll be using, as well as some of the things it will help you with. I'm going to help you get introduced to Git and the repositories we'll be using. That'll be another video so that you don't have to just scan through this video to find it. And then I'll also be walking you through some Java basics just in case you missed on those during the first week. It'll hopefully be a refresher for you as well. So let's get started with your NetBeans IDE. Once you install it and open it, it should look a lot like this. And the first thing we're going to do, and remember only one of you will need to do this in your partnership, at least create your team project. You both feel free to open up your NetBeans IDE and make a sample project and play around with it just to make sure you've got the hang of it. But as you do your pair programming assignment this week, only one of you will need to do this. And the other person can be joining in via Google Hangout or however else you want to do that. So you're going to click File, New Project. I'm going to go off of the example that I did in my UML diagram. I'm going to call this Zombie Game. I'm going to call it, or sorry, this is not where you enter the name. You're going to pick a Java application. It's been a long day for me. The project name, I'm going to just call it Zombies. Zombie, because I've already played around with this and created a Zombies game. You want it to create the main class for you, and then leave everything else just the default. That will be fine for now. Go ahead and click Finish. And you'll see it creates a lot of stuff for you, and that's great. We want that. The most important thing is this main class, the zombie class, which has the main method in it, which we're using to kick off all your code. I'm not going to worry about this too much right now, but I guess show you really quickly. Not print, I want print line. That this works. And you might want to make sure that this works for you as well. To run it, just click the Run project. A console should come up, and there's my output. So we'll come back to the main class a little later. Right now, and what your assignment calls for is for you to build the model package and the model layer. So under the source packages, we're going to right-click it, select New Java Package, call it Model. We're going to leave everything else the defaults. And you'll see we've created a new model package. To create your classes, again, just right-click, New Java Class. I'm going to call this the Player class because I think most people are going to have a player. This is going to be the class or the object that represents the player the character is controlling, or the user is controlling. Go ahead and click Finish. Again, it gives me all the nice comments and everything, declares my package automatically, and sets everything up for me. So I think in my UML diagram, I know I had at least a string for a name, and I'm going to want to declare this as private to make sure that only this class can modify that variable. And we'll create a private int hit points. And you can see it's giving me underlined warning saying, hey, there's no other code that's using this object or this attribute right now. And so we can change that really easily. Every class we're going to want to create getters and setters for all of our private variables. And to do that, right-click, insert code. Let's create a getter and setter. And let's create a getter and setter for both of our attributes or both of our instance variables. When we generate, you'll see it generated my getters and setters, and for some reason moved my hit points variable down. I want that at the top of my class, so I'll just move it. And you can see I have the getters and setters that I wanted. For this class, we'll also want to make a constructor. So let's insert code again for a constructor. We'll need at least a default constructor. A default constructor means that there are no fields initialized by it, which means we're not going to check either of these fields or any of the fields that you have in your objects. So we'll leave that empty, click generate, Again, I want my constructor after my instance variables. And we're going to leave that empty. In this class as well, we're going to make sure that we implement serializable. And that's another feature of NetBeans and most IDEs is as you start typing a class, you can hit the control space combination and it will attempt to autocomplete what you're trying to type in, and it'll do its best guess. And so in this case, its best guess was really good. I really wanted to implement serializable. And when you do that, you'll notice it also includes the import statements that you need. For my example, I'll also add a method that's not a getter or setter. We'll call this apply damage. And we'll take an int that is the damage to be applied. And you'll notice it also auto-completes your delimiters. There's a lot of things that an IDE will do. Oh, and I forgot to declare a return type, and you can see that's already caught as well. Invalid method declaration, return type required, so let's make it void because I don't return anything. And is take this hit points, subtract the damage to be written as this hit points, this instance's hit points is going to get what hit points I had before. I'm going to subtract out, or the shortcut is minus gets damage. Either one of these is valid. To make things clear and explicit, I'll just do this version of it. And this is just going to be, again, a basic introduction to the IDE and what you'll be doing for this class. I will either add and edit this one and add more to it if I think, but this is just what you'll be doing for this week's assignment. The next video I'll be doing will be a Git and a GitHub introduction, which is probably going to be more complex than getting your IDE set up, so that will be way more useful. So until then, good luck and have fun with it.